Okay, this video is going to show you how to use the SimplicityCam viewer software that's bundled with your camera. This is the software for Windows. There's a separate video which will go over how to use VideoGlide, which is the Mac software. After you've installed SimplicityCam viewer, it'll leave an icon on your desktop. To install this, you've already gone to the recordexusa.com/mysimplicitycam.html, which is where the online getting started guide is, and that guide led you through registering your camera and downloading the software. After you've downloaded and installed it, the SimplicityCam viewer icon will be on your desktop. You can also access this through the All Programs feature. I'm going to double click the icon and it will launch the software. And you'll see that the documents that I have under my camera are showing up. I've got the quick start guide, I've got this little magazine, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take you through the different features of this software. The software is really pretty easy to use, and I think you'll have the hang of it very quickly. First of all, I'm going to change the resolution. That's this little like cog or gear, and this will allow you to change the resolution of your camera. 16 by 12 is the max resolution for the Simplicity 2i, which is what I'm using, and I'm going to change this down to 1280 by 1024 for the purposes of this video. At 1280 by 1024, you're going to have slightly better frame rates for like motion video if you're recording video. And here we have the image again, and you'll note here that well, again, let me just reiterate, this cog is where you click to change resolution. Now we've got this magazine here which is in portrait style, which doesn't really look that great because it's sideways. Well, it's easy to fix that. Just click the rotate button here and it will rotate this image 90 degrees, and each time you click it, it rotates it another 90. So now this is appropriately positioned for a portrait document, and if you had a landscape document, of course it's going to be the wrong way now, but that's easy to fix by just simply rotating the document again. So you can use portrait or landscape documents easily. There's also a show date, which you can see here. It puts a date stamp on or off, and there's the option to select a microphone, and there's the option to select the actual device that you're using. You could click this and you could pick from a set of different document cameras or webcams if you had them installed. However, this software is really designed to be used with our cameras, and you may not get the best results using this software with other cameras. So right now I just have the SimplicityCam plugged in, so I don't need to do anything. But if I were to click here, I get a list of any installed webcam or USB video device that's on the computer, and you can pick which one. Our SimplicityCam will show up as a USB video device. There's also a settings button here with the wrench. The wrench allows you to change some of the settings of the camera, like you could change the exposure, increase or decrease it. You can change some of the brightness and contrast. This is everything's done automatically by the camera. This is not something you'll probably ever use, but it's there just in case you want to tinker with it. If you ever want to get back to the way it was when we shipped it to you, just press the default button. Alright, and then one nice feature is this has a full screen viewing mode. You just simply press this full screen button here and it will take this to full screen and blocks everything else out. This is great for anyone trying to use this in a classroom, and you want to project it on the screen and you don't want people to see other items. That you want their full attention focused just on what's being projected. To exit, just click this X button and you'll go back to standard size. Alright, let me show you how to take still snapshots and to take video. It's really very simple. You just click the capture button here, the camera, and it takes a snapshot and places it in this preview pane. It puts a date, 2011, March 28th, and puts the time as well to name each file. Snap it to the picture. Now if you want to view these pictures, just double click them, and whatever picture viewer software you have installed, either the basic Windows image viewer, or in this case I have Picasa installed. So when I double click this, Google Picasa viewer opens that file, and then I can zoom in. I'm using the scroll wheel on my mouse right now just to zoom in and out. It's a nice feature of Picasa. You can drag this around. You can see that it's a pretty high resolution image. You can zoom in pretty nicely and it's still pretty clear, easy to read. I'll open this other image as well. You see even the small text is able to be read. So this is where you could snap that image and then use this snapshot in the class as well. Now you can also record video, and I'll press the record video button here. I've recorded that video, and now I'm going to press stop. And it also puts this thumbnail here of the recorded video. See, date and time stamps that as well. And then double click it and it will launch Windows Media Player, and you'll see this video being played that you just took. It's going to record audio and video. You can rename these files just simply by right-clicking the file and going to Properties and then changing the name. So if I want to call this page 1 or something like that, I say OK. Now what you'll need to do is you'll need to go here and press refresh, and it will refresh this viewing pane, and now you see this is named page 1, and I can open it. If you change the name, I'll call this page 2. If you change the name and then try to open it without refreshing it, you're going to get this error message that it can't find the file. That's because that file name no longer exists. But if you press refresh, you'll see now it renamed that to page 2, and it will find that file no problem. Do the same thing with the Windows Media files as well. In addition to full screen mode, there's also a zoom option here. We can zoom in. I can move this document a bit. You can zoom in just using the zoom button here. You can go in quite a ways. It gets a little pixely as you go in further and further, but it works pretty well. Let me show you now the benefit of having the resolution options. If you're doing something that just requires not really high like text clarity video quality, like text clarity, but you want high frame rate for recording motion, then you might want to go down to 640 by 480, which, let me show you here. Let me rotate this so it's in the correct format. You'll see the image quality is not nearly as nice, but if you were doing something, let's say you wanted to show perhaps how to work out a problem. The frame rate is pretty high. But the frame rate is also pretty good when you're up at the 1280 by 1024 or 800 by 600. And as you go up, the further up you go in resolution, the better the image quality is. Okay, and you can see there's a pretty good frame rate here. You can do handwriting pretty easily. And then as you go up in the resolution, even at 1280 by 1024, you'll see the frame rate is still pretty good. So I would say if you're trying to do video, 1280 by 1024 is probably a nice setting. It's going to give you nice image quality as well as decent frame rate. However, if you want to go for maximum text clarity, so you can zoom in, you want to go with the higher resolution, which the highest for the Simplicity 2i is the 1600 by 1200. And let me apply that now. You can see that in this mode the frame rate is not nearly as fast, but if I take a snapshot of this or I zoom in, you can see that the image quality is better while you're zooming. Let me take a snapshot and zoom in. You can see that the image quality is pretty nice even at 200%. So there, you can even read the little tiny small print at the bottom there, the copyright. Alright, that's really the basics of how to use the software. Again, there's the full screen mode. To exit from full screen mode, press the X in the upper right corner. There's device selection, click this and you can pick your camera. There's a rotate button to rotate it 90 degrees. There's a stamp for dates, time and stamp here. There's a settings option to change some of the settings like exposure or white balance. There's the option here to change the resolution of the camera. And then there's the option to change the microphone that you're using. The camera does come with a microphone. In some cases you might find a better result using a microphone that's closer to the presenter, so you may want to use like a USB headset microphone depending on what kind of recording you want to do. But the microphone and the camera will suffice in many cases as well. This button will record video, this button will record snapshots, and this is where the previews are. You can change the location. Simply click this browse button and you can select any location to save the images. By default it's going to go to a folder kind of hidden down far on your C drive in the SimplicityCam installation folder, but you can change that. If you want it to go to my pictures or my videos or your desktop or my documents, just click the button here and change it, and then it remembers that from then on. It will always default to whatever the last used location was. That's it. I think you'll find it's a nice piece of software. It does everything you need, but in a really simple fashion.